It would be simpler to say that fighting games are meant to be played offline, directly on a console or PC, having an opponent in that very room. No lag, everything is smooth and perfect. But reality brings some adjustments. Like it happened quite recently when we were all forced to play and compete online. As a result, rollback netcode that allows players to have a better online experience has become a general standard for fighting games. The industry has improved through the difficulties. Cloud gaming is even further away from offline playing sessions than online matchmaking. The first thing that comes to mind about streaming fighting games from the cloud is don't. But let's hold our horses a little bit. The idea of cloud gaming is that you can stream games, even modern ones, from a server to your device, even old and totally non-gaming. Advantages of this technology include environmental benefits, as people don't throw away their generally normal computer equipment and continue using it, and from a gaming point of view, we have a nice library of awesome titles available without high expenses. That's a great deal for a lot of people. But reality brings its adjustments again. Not everyone in the world can easily have a high-end PC or even a latest gen console. There is no need to prove this. It is as it is. Wouldn't it be nice to still have access to the excitement of playing the best fighting games and being a part of the community? Another quite practical usage of cloud gaming is having your game library even if the primary device is out of reach. Say when you go on vacation to your grandparents' place and don't take your whole gaming room with you. I'll leave elaborating on other examples to you. We all may have some reasons to be shortly away from our beloved PS5, Xbox, PC, whatever. The question is, can fighting titles be a good destination for your cloud gaming entertainment? We can all agree that it's not a technology for pro esports, sure, but what about vast areas beyond intensely competitive matches? If I say that cloud gaming technology works thanks to magic, will this be enough? I guess not. In simple terms, instead of your device doing the heavy lifting, it's done remotely by the machines of the service provider. You just send them your inputs and then receive the gameplay in the form of a streamed video. To make the magic work, even if it's not magic, we absolutely need a high-speed internet connection. Your inputs don't use a lot of data, but the video most certainly requires a proper download speed. Even a few moments of latency is too much for gaming, especially for such a fast-paced genre as fighting games. Regarding netplay, everything is fine on the server side, no worries about that. Streaming services use huge data centers with super solid wired connections. It's a great advantage, in fact, as some of these servers can even be better than your home network, even if you have a good one. Fights that happen on the server are as good as an online matchmaking can ever be. Sure, stuff happens even there, I know, but we are talking about normal situations with no technical collapses. So whenever you play a fighting game through a cloud server, you can rest assured that you're not ruining the experience of your opponents. Something may happen only because of the substantial distance between them and the cloud server or the game's netcode, and I'm looking at you, all the games that still don't have rollback. The issue, or I guess it's maybe a feature of cloud gaming, is the connection between your device and the server inevitably creates latency. It could be low indeed if you are on a speedy wired connection and located relatively near your data center. But the very process of sending input somewhere and getting video to your display takes time, even just milliseconds. How crucial is the delay? I kind of want to move from talking about some abstract technology to discussing a real experience, and not of streaming games in general, but playing specifically fighting games on cloud. I had extended sessions with various games, and it felt alright, simply good with no big problems at all. While playing Brawlhalla, I sometimes felt a drastic increase of latency when I could not land anything or avoid attacks. It happened only a couple times in many hours, so it's probably my internet provider, not cloud streaming, and that did not ruin multiplayer matches for me. Lots of fun despite those annoying moments. Dragon Ball FighterZ feels different on the cloud than on PlayStation, but after a pretty short while of playing only there, I adjusted the input patterns to the delay, won some matches, lost some of them, landed some combos, dropped some, as it usually happens. Well, I kind of want to blame the latency in all those failures, but it's better to keep objectivity. Skills should be really high for the delay to have any significant effect. The same can be said about Guilty Gear, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. Some elaborate combos with precise timing may become difficult to perform, that's true, but most combos, and not just the simplest, work okay. As for those tricky inputs with precise timing, Let's be honest, they don't always work even on real devices, and not everyone uses them. The thing is that the experiences of direct and cloud gaming just cannot be compared. If you switch between them, the cloud certainly sucks. It's almost like trying to fight underwater. Okay, maybe not to that extent, but I want you to get the point. You quickly get used to how it feels and then stop noticing it. If there is no good alternative to playing on cloud, don't limit yourself and don't deprive someone from that chance strictly because of some arrogant reason. A real issue arises only when you reach a good level with your skills and start reacting to your opponent's attacks super quickly. We all should do that, sure, but I mean those milliseconds between seeing, say, a throw animation and pressing buttons to tech that. The delay is accumulated by receiving video of this action and sending your input to the server. The smaller the react window is, the more chances to simply miss it, which is crucial for many aspects like whiff punishes or counterattacks. That's why no serious training and competition is possible on the cloud. But for most non-pro players, the cloud delay is not a deal-breaking factor, as the delay of receiving info to the brain and then activating muscles for button pressing is significantly bigger. It's still nice to blame the technology though. I don't give any technical numbers on ping or latency here because they are never universal. Your distance from the server and technical specs of your internet connection make a big difference. There will be no exact situations with such a variety of regions, cities, and even connection specifications in every individual house. When the connection is bad, this immediately is reflected in the video quality. You get lower resolutions with pixels all over the screen. The latency is not a problem here, the whole thing becomes one unplayable problem. Image quality drops comes first, so if you see a good picture, the delay should be okay. Fun in fighting games comes from not pressing a punch button and feeling no delay and seeing it performed on the screen. It's just a technological basis for the fun to happen. Excitement is born in exact games to play. If the technological part is relatively okay, what services do we have and what games are available to play? We can name 4 cloud gaming services. Every one of them has specific features and different sets of fighting games. Xbox Cloud Gaming is a part of the Game Pass Ultimate subscription, which is $17 per month, and you have access to an impressive library with it. Streaming is available on lots of devices: Android phones, iPhones, iPads, smart TVs, Windows, and Apple computers. And fighting games on Xbox Cloud include Guilty Gear Strive, Injustice 2, MK11, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures All-Star Battle R, and BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. The PlayStation alternative is PS Plus Premium, which is $18 per month or $160 per year, and it works relatively the same, but the range of supporting devices is significantly smaller. Basically, it's only a Windows PC, of course, in addition to PlayStation consoles, but if you have a console to play on and access to the PlayStation catalog, just install the game. There's no reason to stream it. As for the library, it's a subscription with many titles like DBFZ, MK11, Tekken 7, Soul Calibur 6, Melty Blood Type Lumina. This set changes, something may drop out of the list, something may be added. But one thing is absolutely sure for both PS Plus and Xbox Cloud: no latest fighting titles are available there. The developers want to sell them. It's understandable. Only if Xbox decides to release a new Killer Instinct, it may be added to Game Pass. But big third-party titles are not in this subscription. And yeah, definitely not on PlayStation. One more nuance to note about these subscription services is that they include only basic games in most cases with no DLCs. Players are supposed to purchase them separately, but that doesn't work on cloud as you have no chance to install them. GeForce Now has a different scheme. This service costs $10 per month or $50 per 6 months with a chance of a limited free access. It allows you to play some games you own on various platforms such as Steam and Epic Game Store, and if you paid for DLCs, they will be there too. It's not like you can play anything, no. GeForce has to get permission from developers, and not everyone gives them that. Among fighting games, we have Guilty Gear Strive, King of Fighters 15, Brawlhalla, Under Night, Samurai Showdown, and Skullgirls. The application is available for all sorts of devices, just like Xbox. Moreover, GeForce now partners with Xbox and offers access to some games from the Game Pass library. Boosteroid is pretty similar to GFN for the price of around $10 per month and $50 per 6 months. This service offers a big variety of newer titles. You can play Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6 on cloud here. The service has a bit of a different paradigm though. It's like you rent a virtual computer from them and can install and play anything you have on Steam and Epic. That everything is still not relatively everything, but the fighting games collection is quite good. The range of supported devices does not include iOS at the moment, but that may happen in the future, and PCs, Mac computers, and Android phones are already there. With all the variety of supported devices, not all of them are convenient for playing fighting games. Computers are the best choice. If you have a nice non-gaming laptop, it's perfect. Install an application, connect your controller, and enjoy playing. Phones and tablets are okay, but you need to have a stand for them or attach controllers to hold the thing in your hands. A wired connection is hardly possible here as well. Compatibility of gamepads may become a problem, especially with smart TVs. For example, I tried to connect my DualShock 4 and Nintendo Pro controller to an Android TV via Bluetooth, and that worked for GFN, but the button mapping was absolutely broken. A wired internet connection is better for cloud gaming. If not, you should at least have a 5 GHz signal for streaming to work decently. If it's only 2.4 GHz, well, it's exactly the time to say, don't bother. And then there are some steps to ensure that your controller is compatible and the reliability of your connection are essential to then play games normally. The age and the condition of your devices matters in terms of supporting 5 GHz Wi-Fi and having a decent screen. The application may not work with some old operating systems, but they should be ancient to not meet these requirements. Even now, the promised performance from streaming services is pretty impressive. Like GeForce Now has an ultimate subscription with up to 4K resolution and 120 frames per second. The requirements to the internet connection become even stricter, and the infrastructure is not prepared for that in most places. In the future, I'm sure the situation will definitely change for the better. Technically, this should improve the experience here and there with video quality and ping numbers. Can that bring a competitive level of experience to streaming fighting games? I don't think so. If a server is miles away, it's not competitive gaming at all. It's an area where we are stuck to real devices for quite a while. What I really expect from future development of cloud services is better coverage, having more servers in different regions, especially those where people really struggle to buy gaming devices. It feels like the technology has proven its reliability and will get investments from corporations. My ultimate advice about playing fighting games on cloud will depend on your situation and your ambitions. Playing on a real device is surely better for scaling your skills and reaching the level of highly precise combos and lightning fast reactions at the top level of competition. But if there is no such opportunity, for any reason, or even plans for this, cloud gaming will be a good substitute. That slightly sluggish feeling appears only if you have experience playing on the console or PC and then try out the cloud. That switching moment may ruin everything for very attentive players. Your character feels as if they are drunk reacting to your inputs. If there is no switching, streaming feels right, with many games available for a pretty reasonable price. The fighting genre is ready to greet even more people, and cloud gaming can remove obstacles for them. That makes the streaming technology a good breakthrough for the FGC eventually to benefit from. But what do you think? What has been your experience with cloud gaming, and what's your opinion on it? Let us know in the comments. And should this become a content series for Dash Fight, like impossible combo challenges on cloud? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.